Hello, campers. I hope everyone is having a good day. I hope you are hustling as you are working through this revising and editing passage. Remember, the day of the STAR test, you're going to have to pace yourself where you get these done in about 25 to 30 minutes because you're going to have 3, maybe 4 revising and editing passages, and then you're going to have to write a paper starting all the way through the writing process, starting with brainstorm, pre-write, draft, superstar, revise, and publish. So this week during Camp Write-A-Lot, we're really working hard to make sure that we pace ourselves and are able to complete these. When you see a new writing passage, now on your STAR day, your name's going to be on the front of the booklet, but we're just in the habit of writing our name at the top. So if you wrote your name at the top, give yourself a tally mark. The next strategy that we use is we use our proofreading marks. Caret up, caret down, caret with a comma, period with a circle, SP, bloop bloop, slash, 3 lines, arrows, and wrong tense. Wrong word, and repeat. I was surprised at how many of these different proofreading marks we actually used on the passage today. If you did that, give yourself a tally mark. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put brackets around our intro. There will never be a mistake in the intro. It's only full of very helpful information. So you're going to put brackets around your intro, and you're going to write intro. Malcolm read about a different type of library. I've never given much thought to the different types of libraries that they are. So we know the paper is written by Malcolm and it's about a different type of library. After doing some research, he wrote this paper. So this is informative. So it's probably not a narrative. It's probably an expository because it's a research paper. If you put brackets around your intro and wrote intro and circled or underlined keywords, give yourself a tally mark. The next sentence has a very important clue in it. Read Malcolm's paper and look for ways that he should revise it. That's the word we're looking for right there, is revise. The reason that that's so important is to recognize that for a revising passage, there are no spelling, capitalization, or punctuation mistakes. Instead, we are going to have to read the whole passage and know what they're talking about, and we're going to have to rely more heavily on the answer choices of each question and plugging them in to see what to do. So you don't want to waste your time focusing on word for word or sentence by sentence like you do in editing, because there are no spelling, capitalization, or punctuation mistakes. If you found the word revise and you wrote that this is a revising passage, give yourself a tally mark. The other strategy that we've started using is to write out our fanboy words, because this is a good strategy when you're connecting 2 complete thoughts, 2 complete sentences, to know that you add a comma and then you add the fanboy words. Fanboys, the words that can connect 2 complete sentences are for, and, nor, but, and I know some of our Emerson 4th graders just screamed that word, or, yet, so. So if you wrote this strategy over here, give yourself a tally mark. The other strategy that we use is that we label the intro A, we underline the title, and we label it B. Right here is a picture of a man who looks like he is walking through a field, and we label that C. This is just the copyright. It's not a caption, so we normally don't draw attention to our captions. Oh, look, on page 2, there's another picture, so we're going to label it C. If you did that, give yourself a tally mark. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tally marks so far. 6 tally marks so far. And then the last thing we do to set up our story is we go ahead and cheat or look ahead so we know exactly what they're going to be asking us questions about. Malcolm wants to use a more accurate word than living in sentence 3. So he doesn't like the word living. Which of the following could best replace the word? When we see the word add or replace, we use a star. Because if you're adding something, you're putting it in addition to. If you are replacing something, you're taking the word out and you're replacing it with something else. So it's the same strategy that we're going to use. Question 14. Malcolm wants to improve the topic sentence that he has written at the end of the second paragraph. So it tells us the second paragraph is paragraph 4 through 7, but there's no reason to highlight or to copy each of those because there's nothing wrong with those sentences. Which of the following could best replace? There's that word replace again. That means we're going to take something out of our passage and insert something in its place, add something in its place. So it wants to take out sentence 7 and insert a sentence in its place. So we're going to put a star because they want to replace it. I forgot to tell you, if you put a star by living, give yourself a tally mark. If you put a star on this one, give yourself a tally mark. You have to be real careful on these revising passages because oftentimes there's not quite as many questions on a revising passage as there is in editing. What is the best way to revise sentence 12? So we know they're going to ask us a question about sentence 12. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight it to draw attention to it. Malcolm wants to add another detail to his fifth paragraph. There's that key word, add. His fifth paragraph is sentences 18 through 20. Which sentence belongs in this paragraph and could best follow sentence 20? So again, we're going to add a sentence. We're just not sure which sentence we're going to add. So if you put a star where you're going to add a sentence, which sentence belongs, then give yourself a star.